Troll.
Hello and welcome back to Mzansi. We're back. It is that time of the night where we have to talk about AKA story because, well, the father of the fiancé has spoken. So we would like to discuss that. What did we see on our side? Obviously, this is our own opinion. It has nothing to do with knowledge. We all do not know, as it is the case with all these cases. Now, the father had an exclusive interview with SABC.
Yes.
And then Griselda, trust Griselda to be part of that. She was in charge of that interview on behalf of SABC. So, what did we see and what was said there? It is important to also leave your comment there and share with us what you thought. What are your thoughts? And yeah, it's great to be back. Emily, just to give you a bit of Mzansi subscribers. Yes, Emily is rocking solo on randoms, which we endorse here. And I see many people are saying, hey, you guys said that you are going to do reviews there. There are many reasons why we decided otherwise, and obviously looking at the health of the channel and the health of the reviews itself. I mean, it's a long story. Not to say that I don't think I can decide what you are going to put there. It's not my business to tell you what you put there.
Let us say it's a mix. It's stories that I find interesting, and you are also open to recommend what you found interesting. But as for full-on reviews, I'm not doing that anymore.
Yes, you find the people
Game
that
over.
you were reviewing for. What is it? Is it lack of commitments from their side?
Yeah, and also the attacks as well. People have their favorites, and when they have their favorites, they will call you all kinds of names in protection of people that they don't want to hear being criticized. It was too much mentally for me. I'm done.
You done?
No, I'm moving on. And on top of that, I always was interested in these other stories. It's just that Mr. Anonymous is not one for the gossip, okay? I am. But it's not a gossip channel per se, but it's just to say that there are other stories that are nitty-gritties that you'd find that I'm interested talking about and Mr. Anonymous is not. So those stories, you'll find them at randoms.
Yes,
For
definitely.
those of you who
So
want more content.
you basically are following Emily there, and we support what Emily is doing. But we would like to say that on my side, as an individual, I don't think you will be seeing me a lot there. You might be seeing me with other stuff.
Like
but,
things that I have questions about.
Yes.
Deep things.
Yes,
that
yes,
I can't.
yes. And I mean, there's got to be a lot. I know that you were shouting at me on the call just before we met, saying that I was talking about the predictions that I see happening in EPL.
Oh, the soccer.
The soccer part, yes. And unfortunately, I have to, I can't wait for tomorrow, where I'm going to talk to Arsenal fans that I told it's going to be difficult for them to win this Premier League, considering how they behave normally towards the end. And they were all believing that this year is their year. Unfortunately, Man City is currently number one again.
Again.
Yes.
Man City.
Yes.
Everything.
Emily, let's just get into the story.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us yet again for another review. This one is a bit more sensitive, a bit more serious. It's about Anele Tembe and what had happened to her. of course, Griselda Lewis did that interview with the SABC, and it was an exclusive with Moses Ntembe, the father of Anele Tembe, aka.'s fiance, who passed on tragically. The 22-year-old died after falling from the 10th floor of the Cape Town Pepper Club Hotel. And Anele was dating the late aka, and they were both in the hotel when the heartbreaking incident occurred. Now, in the first ever wide-ranging exclusive interview by Moses Tembe, the father of AK's fiancée, Anele Tembe, he spoke to him on the 3rd anniversary of his daughter's death and the long wait for answers on how her body came to be found on the ground from the 10th floor of a Cape Town hotel. The host of the interview, Griselda Lewis, said that she summarized some of the points Moses stated during the interview, which was that Tembe's family wanted AKA in the court box as either a witness or a suspect.
Yes.
Now on social media, I did see a lot of people at the mention of box, they all assumed the worst. They just went to say, oh, he said he wanted to see him in a box. He's not talking about that box. He's talking about the court box, either the accused box or the witness box.
Yes.
Yes, guys, let us not get carried away. And he said that he wanted Keenan, aka, in the box as either a witness or a suspect. And he said that I object to anyone saying Keenan killed our daughter. The evidence at the inquest into her death will tell us exactly what happened. There's a current inquest that has been taking place ever since last year about the passing on of Anele. Remember, you guys, after the incident, it was concluded that it was a self-deleting occurrence. Although in my opinion I felt like it was a bit premature, but either way it was determined as such. But then the Tembe family...
And the case was closed, right?
The case was closed. The Tembe family then went on to reopen the case, and they had said that they found new evidence that proves something else, and they wanted to find out from AKA himself what had occurred. But of course, AKA couldn't get the chance to attend that inquest because it started happening months after he passed away. But as to the family doing investigations, they started prior to him passing on. And he said, our hearts are shattered and gutted. To see my daughter on TV covered in foil was traumatic. I can only imagine. I mean, I felt that. And a lot of people were saying that because of that incident that had happened prior, there was an incident with Anele where she was standing on top of a Hilton hotel and she wanted to jump. And then she got saved by the paramedics and she attended therapy and everything else. But people are now using that to say that if she wanted to do it before, then on that specific night, she may have wanted to do it again. But we have a predicament here where she was not wearing any clothes when that incident happened. And I don't care how mentally off one must be, but that to me, it broke my heart. I don't want to lie. When I saw those news, I remember, Mr. Anonymous, I couldn't even talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to cover these incidents as they occurred and as they happen.
Yeah.
Because I'm a speculator. I may end up saying things that are off,
Yes.
So I don't like talking about them as they happen. And I also don't like announcing. I don't like this thing of coming with a video and then announcing so and so has passed on. I don't do that. It's not me. I can't handle it. So around the time, yes, we were following the stories on social media. Yes, we were looking at what was happening and what people were saying and some of the allegations. It was a lot. But the fact that she wasn't wearing anything. I remember that to me was like, that's not right. And at the time, Moses Tembe said, at the time I knew she wouldn't strip, herself off of her clothes and throw herself down. That's the father saying that. That's not me. That's the father saying that he knows his child.
Yes.
That she wouldn't take off her clothes and just do that. You understand? And at the time, he said that we expected a prosecution. When you are in a relationship, and people have been singing this song with the other case to say, why isn't the wife arrested? Mostly when an incident like this happens, the person that is the first suspect is usually the person you're in a relationship with, and they need to be cleared before a confirmation is made in most instances. But in this one, it did not happen like that.
No.
It did not at all. So police...
No, more so, I think what would be very even more disturbing is the issue that when this thing happened, the fiancé was also there. This is where the problem is at, because if you're not cleared, maybe if you are not there and there are no... what do we call it? No intruders, as they claimed on the other case. Then it becomes an issue now of, I was not even within that area. That's a different story. So what I picked up, Emily, is that it talked about Anele being alive for like 20 minutes, allegedly, as people who were part of the scene, maybe alleged. That's what I'm getting. He is in a sense questioning that, saying that who's there to tell that? Who was there to tell that? Who saw that 20 minutes? It's sort of casting doubts to say that there might not have been that 20 minutes, as we eventually hear him saying that there might have been a foul play of some sort. So he's really doubting the reports that came out of that to say that after she allegedly jumped, she was alive for like 30 minutes or so, 20 minutes or so.
Well, we're not going to say she jumped. Let us rather use the term she fell. I think that to me is neutral, because it's a lot going on there. And that point of 30 minutes as well, the fact that for 30 minutes, she was still...
It's not a fact. It's not a fact. He's not putting it as a matter of fact. He's
what
saying...
he heard.
He's saying that, it almost sounds like as if he's doubting that process, that whole process, because perhaps that whole process is saying that maybe she was saying things like maybe she jumped or something like that. So that 30 minutes to him, if I read it correct in terms of what he's saying it doesn't exist.
Well, he also said that the police never approached him regarding AKA's death, and blames the NPA in the Western Cape for the delay in the resumption of the inquest into Anele's death. It has been a painstaking wait for her family, who want answers about what really happened to her. And the start of the inquest into her death has been dragging on since last year. So in June 2022, the National Prosecuting Authority decided not to prosecute anybody. So that was the decision the NPA had come to. And instead, after Forbes' murder in 2023, a decision was taken to refer the matter to the Inquest court. Now, since the first sitting was due to start in October last year, the Tembes have been left frustrated over the multiple delays. In the first ever exclusive interview, Tembe's father, Moses, sat with Griselda Lewis, and he described the wounds of his grieving family. And he said, and I quote, "For the family, we are still feeling so much pain. We are still feeling so much anguish out of the passing of our daughter, Anele. In fact, I can tell you our hearts remain so shattered into pieces by the passing of Anele. But having that, by the grace of God, our hearts are still beating." End quote. So the father of Anele Tembe said that he suspects foul play in his daughter's death. Moses Ntembe said that several months have passed since police announced that they would open an inquest into Tembe's death. From what we've heard, he said, as facts that she was actually recognized by or found out by some other lady in the street, and so on and on, unattended to. One got a sense that there could be some foul play, but one was not there. This matter is a subject of the inquest, and he said that he truly believes that the process must be respected. It would be amiss of him to get into the details of the inquest. Now, this is also one very interesting. I remember at the time after finding out all this information, and I had so many questions. There's even an interview that AKA did with Tembekile Mkhototo.
Yes.
Right here on these YouTube streets. And that interview left me even with more questions until I decided to let it go within me to say that, some things perhaps we'll never get answers to. But that whole process of having a lady who attended to Anele while AKA was there as well, I understand he could have been traumatized, but still, I would have, it would have maybe, I don't know, I just felt like, 30 minutes.
I mean, the trauma maybe of someone jumping, isn't it that you feel more of maybe there might be a chance he could live?
That's what I would feel.
And you would probably rush down and check. And then the trauma begins then when you see that they are failing to make it. One thing also that I picked up is that the father is emphasizing on the issues that such as Anele had dreams. She had a lot of things to look forward to. So that to me sounded like he was saying he had no reason to even think of taking
her life.
That is someone who's saying that he does not believe on the issues and on the statement that she might have jumped. He really sounds like he's convinced. I mean, that there is no such thing that could have happened, and more so with his daughter without clothes, he would not do that. That is someone who obviously we cannot talk against, because this is a father who knows the kids that they raise.
And also that, thinking back to that whole Hilton Hotel incident, and then coming back to the Cape Town incident where her life ultimately ended. I would think she was now engaged to AKA she was a fiancé. That was something to look forward to, her wedding, right?
Yes. So she
building a family with him, perhaps.
So she had more to live for than to decide otherwise.
But there's also a huge group on social media who believe otherwise, and they are saying Mr. Tembe is wrong for saying that Anele had so much to look forward to. I don't know. Is it fair though? Is it fair for you as a person to conclude that while you didn't know the person personally? is it a safe question to pose? I mean, if the father is saying that she look forward to her future, and you are coming in based off of an incident that happened before, I don't think that's fair.
I think one thing that we should separate is that one person is a celeb, and
Yes.
definitely he
They're
had
fans.
followers and fans that would what we call diehard fans.
Yes.
And when they look at things, they don't look at things in a balanced way. They always look to find fault or to defend. So that is something that is expected, because once you see someone as this demigod, you never see a wrong on that person.
True. That person can never do wrong. I always use that example of Beyonce and how obsessed I was in my youth. I saw no wrong. I was an obsessive fan. I come from there. Then life hits you. Wake up. Wake up. You don't know these people. You don't know them. Wake up. Okay? Look at things holistically. Right? So there's also the mention of an inquest that he was talking about, Mr. Anonymous. The Sunday World has been keeping track of this inquest and everything that has been taking place with the inquest. There's a lot going on in the court for this inquest. But the latest information is that the much-awaited inquest into the death of Anele Tembe was postponed on Tuesday due to the delay that was caused by the NPA and the artist's family, that's AKA's family and legal team. They said that they deprived the Tembe family of its rights to swiftly get closure and establish what actually happened on the night that she tragically passed away. So according to sources who did not want to be named for fear of victimization, AKA's lawyer, Rudolph Baloyi, was instructed to liaise with the family of the late artist, AKA, and submit details of the new executor of his estate to the court before the inquest could start. Now, this comes after RBM Bank withdrew in October last year as the executors of AKA's Janaka estate without furnishing any reasons. So they caused the delay by withdrawing themselves as executors of his estate. So the source said that this was after RBM Bank withdrew this last year, and they said, you know what, they are not going to be executors of AKA's estate anymore. And the source said that their failure contributed to the postponement of the inquest, which was held online, because the court couldn't give notice to the executor to appear in court to give testimony. So the source said that Rudolph Baloyi and Forbes' family only submitted the details of the new executor on Friday, the 4th of April, after kicking the can down the road for several months. So the second factor that contributed to the postponement of the inquest was that the NPA's failure to submit properly commissioned affidavits or witness statements on time, as so directed by the magistrate. The failure by the NPA to submit these statements left Tembe's family seething with anger. The source said Tembe's family and their legal team, led by Bongani Khoza, were ordered by the court to submit a hard drive of evidence to the state, and they obliged. During the proceedings, the NPA was asked why it also did not submit video footage and an audio clip to Tembe's legal team, which would be used as evidence in the inquest. In the response, the NPA, according to this journalist, Ngwako Malachi, embarrassingly said that the legal team should go and get it from the detective who is investigating the matter.
So now the NPA is making it difficult for them to, and you can imagine. I mean, this is imagine if you're going through this whole, which sounds like a circus, and you are here to seek justice for your daughter, and people are just sending you from pillar to post, just so that you, I don't know what is the reason behind
Get
that.
frustrated and quit.
What is the reason behind that? Why would the state do that? We see a state is if they have information, they are supposed to disclose it.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden now they are playing a hardball. So now they are saying, go fetch it yourself.
To the investigating team.
Which is liaising with the NPA. And definitely all the information they have, the NPA should have.
Yes. And this is an inquest. It has already begun, right? And I remember this news of the footage when the incident occurred, like immediately after the incident occurred, like a couple of months or so, or weeks even. I remember an allegation being made on social media that CCTV footage from that hotel in Cape Town was retrieved.
Yes.
So the Tembe family could not see the footage. That's what I heard around that time. So now they are asking for that footage, and the NPA sent them to the investigating team. So
why is it difficult to just reveal information? Why are we pretending as if there's like something to hide?
Why
is it not easy to just say, here's the footage, see what happened, if you want whatever that we have and you are looking for it, then just give it to you. Why are we pretending as if now it's mouse and a cat chasing each other? All you want to make sure of. That's what we have been hammering on. The NPA sometimes, as much as they say that the aim is to make sure that the law is seen to be done. What is it? And it should look and feel. I don't know if feel is part of the should look to be done. Is that what you are doing by hiding things? Are you doing justice to this case as you are supposed to do? I mean, you are supposed to make sure that everything is revealed.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But then we are playing cat and mouse now. There's someone's life here involved. There is no... Just give them what they want.
And already a lot of people are pointing to that direction to... They are already saying, okay, they are concluding the case. The trial hasn't even started in the courts yet with regards to AKA's case. And now with Anele's matter, it's on inquest.
The manner in which cases are handled by NPA, as a person who is involved, as a person who is feeling aggrieved, what are you supposed to do
with this? Like, honestly, now.
What would you do if you find a situation like this? I mean, it seems as if they are saying, if you can take law into your hands, then do so. It seems as if that's what the NPA is doing. You look at the case of Senzo, for example. You look at all these things that are happening, the witnesses, 100 and something. And you feel that there is a person who should be there in that stand. And in fact, they just make you smell. But actually, you might be on something, but look, we're not going to continue with that. We're just going to tell you that we thought about it.
It's torture. It's an
so what are you supposed to do?
It's honestly torture to the people who've lost a loved one.
Because as much as we're going to look at this case of AKA, and no person deserves anything bad to their life, but as much as we look into this case with the same energy, I think, in my own opinion, the same energy was supposed to be given to Anele.
But at the time, the deceased did not want to talk about it. I remember him having a fit with Tando Tabet on 5FM while she wanted to go there, and she quickly had to withdraw because he got upset. And also that interview as well, that just left me with a whole lot of questions. It just became difficult. And I remember even from the interview with Griselda where Moses Tembe was saying that he wouldn't want him to pass on because it would have made things difficult, and it is making things difficult. I mean, who's gonna be assisting with discovering what happened to Anele now? You know? So he's saying that he wouldn't have wanted his life to be ended because he was the person who had the answers. That's what he's saying.
So
He
in a
was
sense,
the one who had the
he had
answers.
the closure. If he could participate properly, then the closure would be there to the family.
He could have given the Tembe family closure, but it became tense. But he said he didn't do it. He still maintained he didn't do anything wrong. He maintained it in the interview and he moved on with his life. But is it fair to the family that lost a loved one? Is it honestly humane? Kibutu? Is it humane?
Yeah, that's what sometimes we do not think of as we deal with these issues. When you are dealing with such issues, you must put yourself in the shoes of those who are dealing with such difficult time. And by all means, you should be forthcoming. By all means, you should be forthcoming when it comes to assisting them as much as you can. If obviously, I mean, it comes with the fact that if you know for sure that you are as clean as they come, then you are going to present yourself.
Yes. And also, if you did anything wrong, take the responsibility, if, not to say that he did it, but prolonging, I think of the Senzo Mewa case and I'm thinking that whoever did end Senzo's life, by now they would have been out on parole.
Most probably they would be out on parole. Let's say for argument's sake, as the theories have been put, it was a mistake. Definitely.
They would be out.
But the mess that you cause, if indeed you are hiding something, if indeed there's something to hide, the mess that you cause, it makes it even harder for people to get closure. A straightforward talk. Let's make an example on the issue of River Stenkam case.
Yes.
I think the family now, they are better off in a sense that as much as the person might have not said in his words that, I did it because of 1, 2, 3. But they know
without a doubt
that this person did it.
Yes.
The reason behind it might still be pending, might still be missing, but they know. So you're not going to be looking for a needle in a bush.
No, you're not. You're not going to be looking for that needle in a haystack. You already know who did it. Maybe you may not have the reasons why they did it.
Yes.
So that in itself is better than the situation where you don't even know what happened.
You have to go take the NPA back to say that, hey, you need to resurrect this because I don't feel that you've done justice in it. Bring it back. Do your investigation. I want to know.
I want to know.
And I will tell you why. And I see someone saying that according to Tony, a.k.a. was placed in custody by NPA. They had to release him because they find nothing against him. But now, why is Ntembe so keen to dig up now while a case is in court? I mean, would you stop digging up?
And he hasn't. It's not like he started now. He started last year.
Yes.
He started last year digging. The entire family, I would assume.
Yes.
It's not just him.
It's not today. It's not yesterday. The person has been looking for justice for his daughter. So
it didn't start today, guys.
So it's look, you get conflicted when you talk about these matters. The manner in which they are being presented. It is hard. It is difficult. But can anyone stand and say that? I mean, after hearing the news, were you satisfied about the report? I'm talking about Anele. Were you yourself, would you stand and say, I was satisfied by the explanation? And if the answer is no, think about the family.
Yeah, think about the family.
One thing, though, I picked up in his Anele Tembe's father, that's Moses Ntembe, he was giving praise to SAPS.
Yes, he was. He wasn't bashing
to saying
them.
that they communicated to them. He mostly blamed NPA. Or in a sense, the police said there is a strong case. The police said there is a strong case, according to them.
And then the NPA.
And then the NPA became a stumbling block. That's what you are getting. From Senzo's case, what this case has taught us is that's why you'll hear Yosfiso having a different theory and version of what the encounter that he has had with people. Hence, he believes otherwise. Do you understand?
Yes.
From what the NPA is presenting in that court.
Yes.
The police, we know they have a tendency of leaking what actually happened or what could have happened.
Yes.
So when they see the other thing being presented in court, some police might be capable of leaking. Hey, actually, this is the case. We know, man. These are people. This is not like robots. So he's praising them. He's praising them. He's not faulting them anywhere. He's praising them. They said they had a strong case. So the question is, who did they say they had a strong case to? Who had to answer for that case? So you can imagine. And then the NPA say, we have a power to prosecute. We are not going to take this further. Done. And it stops like that. I mean, the police sometimes we blame police. They can do their job, but remember there's a board that still says yes or no.
NPA.
And that body, it is put on the spotlight, but not exactly on a spotlight like the police.
Yes.
Police are on a spotlight day in, day out.
Yes.
Because they deal with encounters of what happened to the society physically. Now we get into the learned part of it. And those people can say, no, we're not going to take this case this way. We're going to go this way. And we see, I mean, an example is exactly the same of the case of Senzo. They are saying 2 dockets were presented. And those people can come to court and say, no, this is a junior.
It's a recommendation by a junior.
Something is presented. And if you ask me, if 375 is saying, talk to people in their house, and the other one is saying, you don't even need to talk that much about people in the house. That's what we are seeing after Dinov.
We found.
There are people that we found.
We found them.
Which one would you take?
What are people at her house?
Someone is saying, no, the stories of people in the house. No, it's not making sense. The other one is saying, no, forget about those ones. There is a story here. Let me tell you the story. I feel like you are much closer to the truth if you speak to people who were physically there than speaking to police who were driving cars and taking photos of people pointing.
Already there are red flags. I mean, the red flags is the unclothed situation. The red flag is the fact that it is alleged 30 minutes that she was struggling to breathe there, and the person who she was with couldn't even check. There were red flags already, and the NPA just decides, you know what, we are letting
No, this one is not important. Close this one. Let us focus on other stuff.
I mean, honestly, how would you feel if you were in those kind of shoes?
If you were a parent.
If you were a parent and your child, that happened to them like that, honestly, think about it. How would you feel? How would that make you feel? You know, and he's been quiet. The Tembe family have been quiet. Now I feel there's pressure for them to speak because
there's
of
speculations
social media.
on them.
Yeah.
Yes, there's speculations on them.
And the speculation, even in court, what is happening is just people are now like pointing to them.
According to social media.
Yes. So now maybe he's saying no, but there was not attention given to my child's case, and it's just as important.
And the direction in which this interview is coming on, is it because this anniversary, I think?
Yes, of her death.
Of her death, and then the journalist probably approached.
Yeah.
And then it's not like I called the
That's
journalist and said, "Come to me," just to create. You know how journalists are.
Yes, it's their job.
It's their job.
Get all angles of the story. In fact, the job of a journalist is not to choose sides. It's to tell the story holistically. Get all angles of the story.
So,
that's what they're doing.
As much as no one deserves to not live, but I believe, and we always say this, I believe we all should be equal. In my belief, we all should be equal.
All life is important.
All life is important. You are a celeb, you are not a celeb. It should
the right
be.
to take anybody's life.
You have money, you don't have money. It should be treated with the same urgency.
True. It's so true.
So I think, in my opinion, is that we have seemingly ignored the other part. Yes, even now, we talk more about AKA, not about dips. That should tell you something of where our priorities are. We should be talking about everyone.
But I try my best to include tips. I do. I'm like, and tips. Because his life was also very important. He also had a family. I mean, his mother passed on from a broken heart. You know? It's also sad.
And that's a situation that you cannot avoid. Anyone can be a suspect to such. Knowing a person does not necessarily mean that I have to suffer with them. One might call this a collateral damage or something. But it is painful when those things happen. Unfortunately, you do not determine as to who becomes your friend and when.
And he hadn't seen him in a long time.
Yes.
That's the sad part about this whole
And the theories have been made also about him.
Hi guys, this is heartbreaking. In all angles. There's no
peace.
There's no peace.
There's no peace. And it all starts from one point. It all starts from one point.
What is that point?
The point of Anele's departure. You know, as much as we talk about other stuff, we also need to talk about that. You know, that's my feeling. We never gave that
At that
enough
time
attention.
I was afraid to talk.
It was
I was
as
afraid
if
to talk about
yeah,
it. I don't
because
wanna lie.
she has attempted 1, 2, 3.
Especially after
Therefore.
that interview he did, I was like, okay, it's a wrap. Let's leave him alone. In my opinion, not Mr. Anonymous, is mine. I was just like, okay, nobody's willing to ask those pertinent questions because he is who he is. He's a big celebrity in the country. I mean, if he says that's what happened, then that's what happened. Who are we to? If the NPA says there's no case, then there's no case. Who are we to question? Do you understand what I'm saying? At the time, I was very much timid about it. I was like, I don't want to talk about it. You understand? But now, going back in time, no.
There are a
We
lot of
have
questions
let Anele
that we needed to ask.
There
There are a lot of things that
questions.
we need to say.
Yes.
But I mean, because I mean, it's that issue, and you get people like your your nota speaking, the way they spoke. Those are things that obviously make or break. You know, other people when they talk, they sort of take the steam out of what other people can say.
True.
In the same vein of, I know so and so.
And he was very vocal about saying that, exonerating, aka that he did not do.
We are
anything
also not
wrong.
we are also not saying that is part of whatever.
Yes.
But
But he was strong. It formed part to say, public, leave it alone. Do you understand what I'm saying?
and then
Public
and then
opinion,
and then in that
leave it
interview
alone.
he mentions, there's an interview where he says there are a lot of things that Anele used to tell me.
Do you remember that part?
Yeah, that part disturbed me. It's like, okay, we have had the father is a business person.
Yes.
And so what's like,
There's a lot I know.
it's like a
There's
message.
A lot I know.
It sounded like a sort of small message. You know, I cannot put much into it, but why would you say that?
Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Are you sending a message or something? What is going on? In an interview, Nohal, that was about you. And you just decided to throw that in there. And then he did also mention that Minister Begitele spoke at Anele's funeral, but he was not allowed to speak. AKA said he was not allowed to speak as the husband. But Minister Begitele was there.
You see, that's that yes, such things.
And was given a platform to speak. I was like, AKA, no. You are stressing me. At the time, that's how I felt. You are stressing me because
No, there's nothing to say. Just let people make their conclusions. But all I'm just gonna say is that there were a lot of things that look a bit jumpy. In both of these cases, we can conclude that there might be things that needs to be investigated, because if you people want to go to conclusion, and the conclusion as they want it, then the root of that conclusion, where does it start? Where is the root? Yes. And why would that be the case? And then after this, your police said the strong case. Why is the NPA not then willing? Why do they not have the appetite to go further with the case? If they had a watertight case, the SAPS has the watertight case. Why is the NPA not? Why are they not hungry to see it through?
It would be interesting to find out what happened there. That whole transition from the SAPS to NPA, why the NPA came to the conclusion that they came to. That part is a missing puzzle. And I feel like it would be interesting for us to know what happened there. So the party said that the source postponed the matter and agreed to meet again in the next few weeks to check if all the required materials had been submitted before they could hold a pre-trial conference of some sort. And Rudolph Baloyi, who's a lawyer for the Forbes family, instead of replying to the newspaper Sunday World's questions, he took to social media and accused Sunday World of lying. Now, this comes to the portion of this tussle happening between the lawyer and Ngwaku Malachi. I know a lot of people, after Zola made those allegations that he made about Ngwaku, they have a problem with him. People don't like his journalism thingy. It's another story for another day, you guys. So here's what happened on Twitter. There's a WhatsApp message where Ngwaku shared the article with the lawyer, Mr. Baloyi.
Yeah.
And Baloyi responded by saying, "My God, you have a nerve." Well, before he sent that article, he said, "Please take note that we intend to publish this story tomorrow at 10 a.m., right?" And then Rudolph Baloyi responded by saying, "My God, you have a nerve sending me questions after you lied about me to the nation on this very same case. You are the only journalist in South Africa who freestyles his articles. Where do you get this misinformation you write about? What is your agenda, really? And why are you so hell-bent on lying? I don't deal with journalists who lie." So the legal representative for AKA is saying that this whole information in this article is a lie, according to him. And Sunday World still published it, and he's a lawyer. I think he knows what to do.
If they lied on him.
Yeah.
Yes. If they lie on you, you know what to do, right?
And he also tweeted to say, "Sunday World, I gave you enough time to resolve this, and you are wasting my time. Apologize and own up to your lies. How do you even write something like this without verifying with me?" But they're saying that they verified. They tried getting a hold of him, and they couldn't get a hold of him.
So they published that one
no,
side
they
of the
also
story.
sent him a WhatsApp. They also sent him a WhatsApp to let him know that we are publishing this story at 10 a.m. tomorrow.
With or without your version.
Yes.
So it will do it good if you have your version, because that is the balanced reporting. But if you do not come into party, then one side is going through.
And then he continued again, "Ngwaku and Sunday World, do you guys have a problem with just writing the truth? When now, Ngwaku, you have some nerve, mfana. One day we will be square. We will read more of your lies tomorrow." And that was important that I cover that aspect. You guys cover the whole story, not leave anything out. Yes. So, yes, and Sunday World, they're saying his gullible battleation of fans on social media encouraged him to assault yours truly. This is Musa Kaula vibes. What is going on? It's like I'm reminded of Musa Kaula. What is happening? Then Khoza confirmed that the Tembe family was aggrieved by the postponement of the matter, and the delay is regrettable. It cannot be that between the period of October 16th, 2023 and April the 20th, 2024, that the officials who led the prosecutor-led investigation together with the SAPS, who are today responsible for driving the inquest process. So the SAPS are the ones responsible for the driving the inquest process.
As I said, it's now. Can you imagine what the SAPS knows and what has probably been leaked? And I'm not saying that they leaked the information, but they do talk to the family. Where do they stop when they're talking to the family? Do they stop where they say the reason why we feel that the inquest should continue, we're continuing with this, is because 1, 2, 3. They must give a valid reason, a strong reason that is going to hold and make a family to even gloat about this SAPS.
Yes.
So the information at hand with the family is probably obviously it's not in the public right now as we speak.
Yet.
We will wait for it, but I can imagine what the family knows.
And have battled to address what we believe are minor issues. Our clients are frustrated by the conduct of the officials entrusted with the matter. So Khoza added that it appeared that there is no desire to delve into the circumstances that resulted into the untimely death of Anele. The failure to prepare the matter and have it ready for the inquest court by the entrusted officials is disturbing and highly unprofessional on their part. Khoza said that they are worried by the delay tactics the NPA in the Western Cape had for a protracted period of time, refused to even release a copy of the docket to our clients. Same was released only after we vigorously challenged that office. The matter stems from the year 2021 to date. Not much has transpired. That's what the lawyer representing the Tembe family was saying. And the showdown between the two families started after Tembe died and she jumped off from that balcony at Pepper Hotel in Cape Town 3 years ago after a violent altercation with the award-winning rapper in their hotel room. The musician, who was taken out outside Wish Restaurant on Florida Road in Durban, told the police that Tembe, the daughter of respected KwaZulu-Natal businessman Moses Tembe, deleted herself when she jumped from the balcony of the hotel room they shared after their alcohol-fueled tiff at the Upmarket Hotel. However, her family believes that AKA pushed her off the balcony, allegedly. So Sunday World also understands that the NPA's decision to conduct the inquest came after Tembe's family wrote a scathing letter to the Western Cape Director of Public Prosecutions, Nicolette Bell, after she decided not to institute any criminal prosecution. In the letter, the family challenged Bell's decision, claiming the crucial information indicating that the rapper had pushed or carried Tembe over the balcony was ignored. And in the letter, the family requested access to the docket which led to the NPA's decision. The family also stated that the evidence that was ignored included a statement by a witness who had stated he had heard an argument between a man and a woman in the rapper's hotel room. The family also alleged there was blood in the hotel room following Tembe's passing, and that AKA had marks on his back indicating that he was scratched by her when he carried his fiancée to the balcony. He did not attend to his injured fiancée, who remained alive for approximately 20 minutes. He did not perform CPR. Instead, a complete stranger cared enough to administer CPR. And this stranger is the one who wrote the affidavit and who is willing to testify. CPR and call emergency services on an attempt to save Anele Tembe's life. Forbes cleaned up the hotel room, allegedly.
Is that an article?
It's an article.
Damn.
Gee, it's hardcore, hey? It's hardcore. There was blood on the towels. Forbes partied and drank at the hotel room with his entourage following the passing of his fiancée. And that's where the article stops.
Damn.
He went in. Ngwakumalachi, he went in hard.
Yo.
He went in hard.
That is deep, man. Is that hey, the writer went in so hard, eh? That is deep.
He went in hard.
Yo. So you had be the judge. I don't know. It is all alleged from this point.
Everything is allegedly.
We are just simple echoing what was said there in that article by
Ngwakumalachi
of Sunday World.
Yes.
Yeah, right. That's
Isaac
it.
Kala.
Please like the video and share the video. You can get the article of Sunday Word. Because you're not going to believe us.
No.
I'm not
Go
arguing
and
this
see
one.
it for yourself.
Yeah, just watch it. If they make you pay and then read the paper. Right. Emil, that's it.
That's it. That's a wrap from me.
Yeah.
I have said all I can say about the situation, and I tried my hardest not to seem like I've taken a side, to be objective.
Unbiased as you can.
As unbiased as I can be. It's very difficult for me, you guys, but somebody has to do it.
Yeah. Right. Guys, we're shutting down. Please like the video, share the video. And Jabulu Msweli, hello. And Snentlanta Bengu, our moderator. Hello. Sibanda Skatele. Hello, Dan. Maloloza. And those are people who were in the comment section. Wait, Dumelo, yeah. Chuku Ana.
Hi, Chuku Ana. And Snentlanta Bengu.
Yes.
And who else?
We had, I think, Sizwe Mkaka. Yes, I saw Sizwe there. And then Mina Sangwin was also here. Let me see, who am I missing? Msizi Nicholas. Reisk.
Snentlanta Bengu. Coming with information that I actually had no idea of.
Innocentia.
Nicole Nyaba once accused the rapper of being abusive. Do you know who Nicole Nyaba is?
Who?
Nicole Nyaba used to date AKA at some point way before, many years ago, and she was what we would call now an influencer.
Yeah.
And that was the kind of girl she was, and she was upcoming into the industry, you know. She would be seen, and she was a pretty girl. The last time I saw her on a podcast, it seemed
What about
like,
Zintle?
well, with Zintle, no. Zintle had a child with AKA, and she described the relationship as healthy.
Very fond. She was even crying, right?
She was there at the funeral, and
she cried.
Yeah, she was crying.
Yeah. So to balance the equation.
No, let's balance the equation. But I had forgotten about Nicole Nyaba.
Yeah. Zosbia. Sikhamiti. Mabut. Togo.
Rowley Mtrobol says that, guys, you're not saying anything about the case that is resuming tomorrow. What can we say?
Nothing. We will talk about it when it's there. We expect it to continue, considering that we are hearing
you want
that
us to lie now.
the money of an expert was paid. We expect it to continue.
They are saying that the money of the expert was paid, so we are expecting that they continue.
Yes.
With the expect tomorrow.
Yes.
That's the people that were coming strong, and those were there throughout the unfolding of that whole drama in the comment section.
Yes.
They are saying that the situation was resolved.
Yes.
And the expert is coming to testify.
We expect the case then to continue. Nothing's going to stop the case unless someone is not present. Tim Cool. Didi Talks, Zozo Mahlangu, Nokanya Ngobo, Sibanda Skatele. Yeah, Sibanda Skatele. Maria Gambi. Those are people who were in the comment section, and I think I have covered all of you. So all that we are anticipating is a smooth move of the case tomorrow. We do not expect any postponement. We do not expect anything. Not to rule it out, though. Anything is possible with these cases. There are lawyers, if you ask me, that seem to be happy with a lot of postponement. So it's possible. that we might have a postponement or not. I hear people speculating that there might be postponement and whatnot. There are trigger-happy lawyers who would take that any day, any time. So let us see and expect the case to continue tomorrow. It's a bye from us. Please like the video, share the video. As usual, all that is said here is alleged. And it's simple, our opinion. Nothing, and nothing that we have that you do not have. This is public information. Hence, we are a court of public opinion. Thank you.